Hello everyone! Welcome to CBU Studio Diaries. Recently, someone asked me what is my favorite type of jewelry to make. To be honest with you, I'm still figuring that out. But I can definitely say that twisting wire is my favorite activities. There is something magical about taking just a couple of wires and turning them into something completely unique and beautiful. So, what's on the agenda today? I have this hand twisted wire that I originally shaped into a stacking ring. In fact, I'm like wearing it right now. And I'm excited to transform it into some stunning wreath earrings. And just for comparison, I made these huggy hoops. You can see it. Using twisted 20 gauge wire. They're very nice, but I want to make the new earrings really stand out. So this time I'll use 18 gauge wire. It will give them extra strength, enhance the style, and probably make the texture more visible. And last week, I don't know if you remember this video. If you haven't watched the video, I'm going to put the link up here. We talk about the difference between 18 gauge and 16 gauge wire. So this week, let's dive into the difference between 20 gauge wire and 18 gauge wire with a fun little plot twist. I'm having so much fun with this. Let's get to work. Here is the close-up view on what we're making. It's available now on my Etsy store. I will put up the link on the description below. To start, I'm cutting 12 cm of 18 gauge wire. You can experiment with 20 gauge or 16 gauge if you want it bigger or finer. With the help of pair of round nose pliers, I'm folding the wire into two and make a loop between the two equal length. I want to make the loop as small as possible. This is a roll of masking tape. I'm going to grab a bit to cover the loop we just made. It'll help protect the silver from scratches when I put it on the bench vise. Okay, this is thick enough. Let's mount this bit on the bench vise and start twisting. The key to have a good uniform twist is to do it slowly and make sure to have the same hand gesture every time. So what happened right now is that I put my camera above the magnifier lamp with a hope to produce a closer shot. Okay, here I am steadily twisting the wire. Very slowly, I also straighten the twist whenever I need to using a pair of parallel pliers. And make sure that this is a very tight twist. When I arrive at the end, I try to twist as far as I can to avoid wasting the silver by using the help of pliers. If you don't want to go through the pain of twisting the short wire, I understand. In that case, you can stop here and put the wire in the recycle bin. Alright, it makes 5 centimeter twisted wire. Yay, I'm happy! I'm going to show you again how I twist the second one in a different angle shot. Same thing, I'm twisting both wire in the clockwise so it would look the same at the end. If you prefer to have it twisted counterclockwise, make sure that both of the wire are done the same way. Okay, done with the twisting. They look absolutely gorgeous. Let's take a look at it again. Ah, so happy. Now it's time for soldering. To prepare the flux, I'm spritzing some water onto this dish that has leftover borax from the last use. The water will soften the borax and turn it into a paste. I will apply the paste to the items that need soldering, which is the twists. I'm making sure to use the thick layer to prevent any unwanted fire stains. Then I place the twisted wire onto the soldering station. Now I'm cutting the hard solder smaller and placing each piece between the twists. Very tricky. I need to make sure that the solder bit stays. Two more solder to place, and after that, fire. The borax will react when heated, which can sometimes cause the solder chip to shift. So, keep your pick ready in your right hand just in case that happens. Another tip on soldering, you need to take your time heating up the component. You want to make sure all the solder melts. Just to give you an idea, it took me about 2.5 minutes to solder all of these. So it's quite long, and the video that you are watching is 4 times faster. When it's all melted, I will just quench it with spritz of water and wait until it's cool off. Using round pliers, I'm shaping a circle. Oh, for a second I thought that I had broken the silver. After soldering, if the piece isn't completely cool, you try to manipulate it. It's common to hear a crack, but it's not the silver, it's actually the borax that has just turned into a hard layer. That's what happened here. I was quite startled at first, but it was a false alarm. Everything is fine. Now I'm using a mandrel to enlarge the circle to my desired diameter, and then I will use a rawhide mallet to harden and secure the shape. And hello, you can see me watching something here. While I don't do it all the time, I often listen to a podcast or watch YouTube while I work. Right now, I'm tuned into the soft white underbelly. Although Mark's content can sometimes be quite triggering, it's very often teaches me new things and offers a fresh perspective on life. This particular video is an interview with psychiatric nurse named Clarice. I will link what I'm watching in the description below if you're curious. And by the way, if you're also a fan of soft white underbelly, feel free to share your favorite interview in the comments below. Now back at the jewelry now. I'm going to reunite these two edges and make a seamless circle. Using the jeweler saw, I will cut off the extra tail that I couldn't twist anymore and the loop that I made from the beginning of this tutorial. The trick to do it perfectly is that the twist pattern has to align well, so it looks like it's continuous.
Here is the close-up angle. Hopefully you can see what I mean here. Using the needle file, I'm filing off the sides so it will be very flat for them to be soldered later. I'm putting them together and marking them with the Sharpie. Not only I will close this gap with the solder, but also I'm going to solder the earring post above it. Back to the flux dish, I'm applying the paste generously. For the earrings post, I'm cutting off 1 centimeter of 20 gauge wire, and I have an option for you who doesn't feel like cutting the wire every time. There's a ready-made earrings post available out there in the market. This will definitely save you a lot of time. I personally don't do that because the only reason I can think of is I feel like this is my old way of making earrings, and old habit is hard to break. So this is the setup using cross-lock tweezers mounted on the third hand. I'm locking the earrings post and place it perpendicular straight on the gap. So the solder will fill up the gap between the two edges and the post. This time I'm just going to put the solder chip next to the gap, and it seems like it's ready to fire. Apologize for the awkward angle. This torch had arrived towards the end of its life. I'm buying the bigger, more powerful from the yearly supply. Lesson learned, never purchase any creme brulee torch ever again. Alright, this piece is done. I don't need to solder anything anymore here, so I'm going to put this into the pickle jar and leave it for a little bit. Okay, it's already been a little bit. And see how gorgeous this red earrings. This is a virgin look. I want to enhance the texture by hammering it flat. And I'm also going to harden the earrings post. I'm going to use a different technique that I used before, is to have it twisted a couple of times using these parallel pliers, a faster way to harden the wire. Yes, it's true, but then again, I want to make sure by hammering it again using the rawhide mallet. I'm rounding off the edges of the post for a comfortable wear. I'm using a burr cup mounted on the power tools, which is really practical to have. However, for years, I just use a needle file to do the job. It works just fine. Talking about the needle file, the next step, I'm using this to take off some of the leftover solder to make the hoops look impeccable. Okay, right now is when the fun begins. In this glass jar, I'm preparing a warm water, and inside I will put a drop or two, a solution for liver of sulfur. I will shake this and let it stay for a couple of minutes.
Hello, I'm back. While I shoot this video, the last video, my battery went low, so I need to charge my phone. And at the same time, I'm leaving the solution in the room now. It's been there for an hour. It smells like somebody has just passed a gas. Oh my god. Okay, let's take a look how it goes over here.
This silver is reacting to the solution. What do you see here? In this yellow dish here, I'm going to pour the water to rinse off the earrings from the solution. And this is what it looked like after using liver of silver. It speed up the oxidation process. This is how the earrings would appear if they had been exposed to oxygen and never worn. Does this means that when you wear your silver jewelry, it will stay shiny? The answer is yes. However, with oxidized silver, which has a black finish, a frequent wear, especially from rubbing against your skin, can cause the black to wear off and reveal the shiny silver underneath. Alright, that's enough of fun facts. Let's move on to the next step. I'm going to file off the top part, which means this black oxidized layer will be removed and the texture that was created earlier with the hammer will also be completely smoothened out. After filing, of course, sanding from 400 grit sandpaper to the smoothest, which is for me, it is 2000 grit sandpaper. Be careful, it depends on the brand of the sandpaper you bought. Some of them can go up to 3000 grit sandpaper to be the smoothest, so don't be confused with these numbers, okay? And this piece doesn't need to be polished, just stop at the highest grit sandpaper. Here I am smoothing out the surface. After this is done correctly, the silver will shine like a mirror. So that's it. This is my wire wreath rope earrings. Those are real tongue twister, you guys. I think I'm gonna change the name. I love how the visible black lining, the crease of the rope, and that the raised area is perfectly smooth and polished. And the twist is super infinite. I'm so in love with this. For sure, this will not be the last time I'm making this sort of style. It's a perfect size, 1.5 centimeter diameter. It's an everyday look, chic, low-key, but definitely stylish. This is how it looked like when worn. So pretty! Oh my god!
Okay, that's the end of the video. Hope that you have as much fun as I did. I'm so in love with the result. It's fair to say that these earrings are really my favorite thing to make. Take care of you. Don't forget to have fun. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell for updates. Happy crafting. See you next time. Bye bye. The other day, I received a comment asking if I'm reading a prompt. I would like to answer the question. This is my prompt. I hope this answers your question. Bye bye.